Hello. On this video, I'm going to show you how to open a command prompt on Windows 11, as well as how to open PowerShell terminal. So if I just have a Windows 11 operating system, I right-click on the desktop, and there's an option here, Open in Terminal. That's the easiest way that you can open a terminal here. And as you can see, this terminal is adjustable. You can change the size to fit, or you can just press Control plus and increase the font, so you can make it bigger, or Control minus to make it smaller. So, and then once you set it, adjust it, you say, well, this is the size that I want to set. You can start typing the command. As you can see, the prompt is PowerShell. PS stands for PowerShell, and it says here Windows PowerShell copyright Microsoft Corporation, all right reserved, and then also shows you the PowerShell Windows website that you can go for installing latest PowerShell features. From command prompt of PowerShell to just go to CMD, which is going to be now into a C prompt, DOS, disk operating system command prompt. Now my version works, and then also system info 5 more, that command works. And then every other commands that are Windows related, it will show. For example, here, Microsoft Windows 11 version Pro, it is showing here. And then you could also do a pipe to other commands like find, and then just look for like OS name. So if I just tried it like that, I need to skip it because I don't know if the OS is uppercase or lowercase. Then I'm going to say ignore case, and it just says Microsoft Windows Pro. If I need more detail of it, instead of find, I could use find a string, and that will just find out more occurrence of OS version, OS name, and everything. That is details with dependencies. And then also the build version and all that. But if I just want to, for example, get the memory information, I just type in memory here. Mem is good enough that will just find out the memory information. If I want to know the model of my CPU, the processor, I could type in model. Sorry, just it was, I still picked it up. I'm going to type in model. Somehow it was taking a little bit time before it got entered. So that is how you do the system information here. Now, if I just exit out of this one, now I'm back on the PowerShell command. Because my prompt, notice it changed to PowerShell. So if I just want to only go to the main prompt, prompt shell 1 C $sign question mark, I can get a smaller one. If I just say show me the processes, this will give me the output of that command. That was the alias for get dash process. Inside processes, you can just run and then get information, or you can start the calculator. That would just start the calculator, and then you can do start a notepad. So you can start the process and do something. If you want to write this is a test or something, this is a test, and then you can do a file save or something. Let's say save as, and we want to just save it in the directory where we want to save it. We could save it anywhere we want, and then let's say I want to put it on this directory where it says, let me just look for a directory here. I'm gonna save it under PC users, and then I'm gonna save it on my main directory, users, and then Wahid. So if I just give it any name here, the name would be, let's say, test1.txt. Doesn't matter, I could save it like that. So, and then I close this one. Now I have to go to CD to users, and then Wahid in directory test1.txt, and then I could say type test1.txt, and then now that file is there. If I say delete test1.txt, that file is removed. Test1.txt is no longer there. but this was not the intention of this video. So I'm going to exit out of this one. Another way you can open a terminal is just type in terminal here. And this is also going to open terminal. Same thing, you can size it and do whatever you want to do. Run the get-help or something on PowerShell, those commands. Again, if you just exit out of this one, this will close it. You can also get into PowerShell by just typing PowerShell here. So PowerShell, when you type in that, give you a PowerShell window. And then you can also type in PowerShell and then choose this Windows Integrated Standard Edition of PowerShell. This will give you the same thing. So if you run the PS command again, get dash process, all of those commands run the same way. Exit out of this one. The integrated development environment is much more kind of like user-friendly rather than a command prompt. But on the command prompt, you can also just click here and open a command prompt. This is similar to typing CMD on DOS. Every time you type in CMD, it just opens one, and then if you close one, now the last one I close, it's going to close everything. So command prompt is here, and you can open it. Inside command prompt, if you type in the word PowerShell, also opens PowerShell. And now I'm on the PowerShell. So PS command again will run. I exit out of that one. Now I'm on my command prompt, Control+, resize it, and then say version, directory, help. All the commands are there. Make it a little bit smaller, you can do it. Directory /o with options like show me the last files that are modified at the bottom. You could do that one. Clear the screen, get like help on any command. Copy, it will give you the copy command. Help, move, help. All of these commands are there. In addition, I have it on my website. You're welcome to go on MyWebUniversity for educational videos. I have a lot of documentation there for you. So here you can also just get into Python, for example. Let's say Python 3 -- version. It tells me that I have Python 3.10.11. I could just say Python 3 and then just say import OS and then os.system. And then now I can open another command prompt here. Sorry. Clear. Let me just do this one again. Exit out of this one quickly. Clear the screen. Say Python 3 and say import os.system, and then you can type in a new OS command. One of the command could be hostname. So whatever is the operating system, it's going to just show algorithm for the hostname. If I just say run the dir command, that will run the dir command. But if I want to open a terminal, then I could just say, for example, here, let me just clear the screen here first. So that's the Windows CLS command, which clears the screen. This time, instead of this, I could type in terminal, and then now it does not understand the terminal on this one because that is a PowerShell command. But if I want to just open a CMD, that is understood, and then now I'm on the C prompt. So if I type in directory here, I can also say PowerShell, and then just get into PowerShell, as if I just open a terminal. So I could do that one here. And then exit out, exit one. Now watch the difference here between the command prompt. When I say os.system, and then wrote terminal here, exactly the word terminal, it is not recognized because I'm on a command prompt. I have to get back to the command prompt to do it. But if I exit out of this one, and then here, I could just say, let me just exit out of this, and I right click here, say, open in terminal, and make this size bigger. And then I'm going to say Python 3. So at this time, if I just say Python 3, and then say, let's do a dir first. And then you can see those are the objects that are the double underscore methods. dunder method that are already loaded. So I'm going to say import OS. Now I do the dir, and OS is also listed here. So I could do a dir of OS, and then one of the command is os.system, a function. The function that I'm using here, say os.system, and then followed by any operating system command, like clear screen, will clear the screen. Now on this one, because I have the PowerShell window that opened this Python, I can type in terminal here. Now I am on inside this one, and this still does not recognize it. That is bizarre, which is not good. And so you could do open a command prompt, and then inside here you could say PowerShell and do your command that you want to do for, let's say, start notepad, whatever you want to do, and then just finish it, and then close it, and then exit out of here. Now exit out of the command prompt, you're back into your Python, and then you can see that directories are there. Another command you could do is inside Python, you could say os.system, and then, and instead of just running a command prompt, you can directly open Notepad, for example. So this will open Notepad like that, or just open calculator. You could do that calculator. So you could do that one executing OS commands inside your Python. But notice that every time you run these commands, it opens a 0, meaning that the system function calls return a successful. And if I just run any command that is not there, like this, it's going to say the return value is 1 because the system did not recognize this command to execute it. But if I just do this one, well, for example, system info, and then run that command, because that is a Windows command prompt, it's going to run the operating system command and reads the whole detail for me. And it's similar as if I was on the command prompt. But let's do this one more thing. Right here, and instead of this, I'm going to just run, for example, the dir command. The dir, I'm sorry, there's an in there. The dir command, or just the tree command. So the tree command is going to run the list of trees. But at this time, if I'm inside the Python and I want to just say, well, this is nice that I can open many ways a terminal and run commands. Can I also exit out of this one, for example, here, and then clear my screen? Do the same thing from Windows command prompt. So here is CMD, and then make it the control class bigger, run Python 3. Now I'm saying import OS. This time, instead of saying os.system, I could do the clear screen here, but then if I want to run the calculator command or more than one command, I could do that one within a for statement. For example, let's say I say for CMD and then say os.system, and then here I'm going to have to do a list. And the list, if I did not define it, I could put it here and say CMD, and then also run the command version and comma hostname. These 3 commands. So since it's a list here and it's not defined, I define it there for this. Now I'm going to say colon and then say print os.system and then run the CMD command. So let me just clear the screen. os.system. I think I just wrote something inaccurately, typo. Let me just clear the screen first and do it the right way. So here I create a list, say commands is equal, and then I say create a list, and then the list, the command was command, comma, version, comma, hostname. Those 3. And then now if I just say commands, it's going to print those ones At the same time, if I say for CMD in commands, and then I could say print command, notice that it runs those outputs, CMD version command. But if I want to get the output of it, I could do the same thing here. Instead of printing this way, right here, I could say os.system, and then just give the command as an argument to os.system function call, and then run it. And it ran the first one command, the version, and then also the host name. It did not display it for some reason. The host name did not display. Actually, because the second one, it opens a command, I have to exit out of this one in order to get to the version. Now it shows the version and then the host name. And then I'm gonna do for CMD is equal, and then run this stream, and then output stream read. And then the only thing is that I have to correct this one. Output, the typo, you cannot have typos, and run the command and everything successfully. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you, and thanks for your time. I hope you learned something and enjoyed it. Take care. Bye-bye now.